So I'm back from vacation, spent a couple weeks on Mallorca visiting my grandparents there, and while I was reliving my childhood memories of playing by the coast, something happened. I was sitting on the seaside rocks, waves eating into the rugged stone below my feet, and my gaze wandered to the nearby beach, and I thought, hold on, why is there a beach here? Why is that a thing? You have like a coastline, right? And then there's rocks here, and they go on, and then for no reason, suddenly there's a beach. And then often at some point at the end of the beach, there will be rocks, and there will be more rocks there, and then there will be another beach, also for just no reason at all. This makes no sense at all. This is not how coastlines are supposed to work in nature. Because what a beach is, if not rocks that are finally crushed by the sea, right? So then why is there rocks here, but a beach here, literally right next to it? Why were the rocks not crushed like the rocks here where the beach is? And as I watched all these people running on the sand, it dawned on me. This goes deeper than just beaches. This goes deeper than what I even was able to imagine at this time. So I know science, so I started doing research on the internet, and I found out that all of the beaches all over the world, they also have rocks there. Well, I mean, not every single one of them, but clearly the ones where the rocks aren't, they were like removed. Wait, removed, you say? Yes, removed, I say. Because think about this. We've already proven that scientifically, beaches cannot form if there's also rocks. So then where did beaches come from? They were put there artificially with machines. Listen, I've looked into this, and it's literally impossible to find any photographs of a beach before 1824. I guarantee you that there is not a single photograph of a beach at that time. There are paintings, but paintings can easily be doctored. And how do I know that the painting is even from 1824? You can just write 1824 underneath the painting. There's no beaches in the Bible, is all I'm saying. I mean, now you go to the beach, right, and there's all these people, they're always taking pictures with their cell phone cameras. Now you have to account for the fact that cell phone cameras hadn't been invented back then yet, so you would expect, like, less pictures of beaches before 1824. But did people only really, get an interest in beaches at all at 1824? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, to say that human beings were not interested in beaches before that date, it's just absurd. And this is not a coincidence, because as we know, shortly before the first beaches appeared, steam power was invented, and thus the ability for machines to move vast amounts of sand. And they got this sand from the desert. Because have you ever seen a wave that laps on the beach? It goes away. It takes sand away. So the water goes back and it comes there and it goes back into the sea and it takes the sand. And also all of the sea floor is covered with sand and there's just a few rocks poking out. So that's a lot of sand. This is because all of the sand in the desert was put on the coasts, and then the water from the ocean took it away, but now there's so much sand in the ocean that the ocean says no more, and that's why beaches are now somewhat stable. But why would they do this? What were they excavating in the desert that they had to move so much sand? You see, here's where it gets a little tricky, because this is where we enter the territory of speculation. You know what's also in the desert? The pyramids, right? And there was, on the History Channel, scientists agree that they're actually starships by aliens. But if you look at the pyramids of Egypt, they're all fucked up. There's no way they're starships. But here's the thing though, who's to say that the whole desert wasn't just full of pyramids, right? Who's to say that those three were the only pyramids that existed in the whole world, right? Probably the aliens just put all the pyramids in the desert, the starships, and then put all the sand on them so we wouldn't find them. And then in the 1800s, the elites, they found the starships and they started excavating them, and then they left on the starships to the space. And no, they only left behind the broken starships, the pyramids, which are in Egypt. And so now the elites have for centuries been living among the stars, and they're controlling us, and this is also where the grey aliens come from. Evolution over the centuries has changed the way that the elites who live in space now, what they look like. Those are not aliens, those are just the elites that live in space, the grey aliens, because remember, there's no air in space. And just for context, right? While beaches are not in the Bible, deserts are very prominent in the Bible, which I'm not saying that proves what I'm saying, but it's definitely strong evidence in favor. And then also add to that evidence just basic economics. How come that just all of the best tourist spots in the world also have the best beaches? Well, it makes sense. They were the best tourist spots in the world, so they were already rich, they could get the best of the sand that was excavated from the desert, while the rest of the world had to take the leftover sand. And there's black beaches where the sand is black in Iceland, which is what happens when the drive plumes of the starships, when they take off, they burn the sand and make it black. And so what they did was the elites, they took that sand and put it in Iceland, far away from the desert where there's only ice, so we would think we wouldn't connect the dots, right? Look, okay, listen, if I was wrong about this, why are none of the big scientists talking about it? They could just have the evidence, they're scientists, if I was wrong, they could just prove me wrong, but because they're mind controlled by the elites, they're not doing that, because that would just draw attention to the truth that I'm talking about here. This is why I need you to share this video with your friends and family and everyone, because they need to know that we're being controlled by the elites that live in the pyramids and the stars. We need to free the scientists and all those people from the mind control of the elites, because I'm not a very smart guy, but imagine if I was able to figure this out. Imagine what the smart people would be able to figure out about the elites. Thank you very much for watching this. This is probably the most important video I've ever done on this channel ever. So like and comment and tell me why this is true and the evidence that you have to support this theory, and also subscribe to the channel. Share this to the communities that are relevant to this. Don't spam them, because that would be a reason for them to silence us. Consider supporting the cause by buying some of the merchandise or my short story collection book, or just on Patreon or Subscribestar. You can also go, and then you get to go in the slide that's about to follow. And in that spirit, I appreciate all of you. Spread the truth about this thing, and see you around, cunts.